This is Tommy Lynch here, the millionaire from North Carolina. I just wanted to share something with you. I came across this an article. To you. It says the GM, General Motors, General Motors, which made General Motors, which made $8.1 billion, and they paid their CEO $22 million. Just canceled health insurance for 50,000 workers. Let me just say that again so it'll sink in. GM, which is General Motors, a major car vehicle manufacturer, they made $8.1 billion in profit. 8.1 billion, okay, well B. They made $8.1 billion in profit, from which they paid their CEO $22 million, and then they canceled healthcare insurance for 50,000 of their employees. Now you got to ask yourself one question: How does a company take in 8.1 billion dollars and pay the CEO $22 million, and then cancel healthcare insurance for not one, but not two, not 100, not 1,000, not 100,000, but those 50,000 of their employees? Probably employees that are dedicated, employees that depend on this job to for their well-being, depending on this job to pay their bills, keep a roof over their head, to eat, to clothe, and feed their families. Now they've got to figure out a way to, in essence, figure out healthcare. If healthcare is not already expensive enough, right? I mean, it's already bad enough that companies are paying a smaller and smaller portion of the healthcare. Now you have at least 50,000 families that we know of that have to go out and find health insurance today. Okay, but the reason why, that's how I kind of came up with that with the name of the stream. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth it to continue to hold down a job? Is it really worth it? And now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not worth the work. My mom always told me that if everybody's gotta have somewhere to live, everybody gotta have something to work, somewhere to work. And I don't mean a physical place, but everybody has to. Everybody has to work, and then everybody has to have somewhere to live. Okay, so they're gonna always need a job, something to do, somewhere to make money. They're gonna always need a roof over their head. So if you're providing jobs and shelter, then you'll always have income, because people always need work and people always need somewhere to live. But you have to ask yourself one quick question. And the time that we live in, how important it is, or how is it really worth it for you to work in a job, not knowing in the back of your head, wondering, man, are they gonna lay me off at some point in this game? Are they gonna retain me? Or if you work for a big company like GM or Ford, or any of these big companies, Fortune 500 companies, are they going to make $8.1 million and then pay the CEO 25 million, and then start cutting jobs? You got to ask yourself too: Is it really worth the trouble? Is it really worth holding down a job? Because what people don't understand is a job is not going to pay you. The CEO is never going to pay you enough money to live where he or she lives, to drive how he or she drives, to eat how he or she eats, to dress how he or she dresses, to go on the vacation that he or she takes. Okay, do I need to go on further to send their to send you don't get this, they don't pay enough money to send your children to the same Ivy League colleges, to the same colleges, period, let alone Ivy League. So the point being is that companies do not have your best interests at heart. Companies now are looking, they're bottom line oriented. As I heard somebody say, you're just a number. You're a line item. They put you and your salary in there with all the bills. I mean, Think about it. You're just an expenditure. You are just an expenditure. Okay. You're in there with the janitorial services, with the water bill, the gas bill, the light bill, and any other thing that's in there. It's an expenditure because what happens is this: one side of the column is where they make money, and the other side of the column is where they spend money. And where they make money, they want to keep as much in there as they can because they've got to pay the CEOs all this exorbitant amount of money to be able to retain them there. That's another whole different stream about why CEOs make $22 million, and then you got people working on the lines or working or doing the actual work. They wonder how they're gonna eat the next day, or how they're gonna where their rent money's gonna come from, or how they're gonna feed their kids, or the like. Or in this case, even how they're gonna afford health care. I mean, right now, salary is already crazy. So how do you throw in another $500 to $800 per month for health care? How do you do that? How do you do that? So all I'm really saying here, guys, is that working a job, but like, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-job. I'm just anti working one until you die. People, what do people do? People go out and get a job, they work 30, 40 years or so, and then they try to retire on 40% of what they were making at first that they couldn't make it on in the first place. So, if they're paying you $40,000, $50,000 a year, and you barely getting by, okay, and then you retire and they pay you 40% of what you were making then, 40% of that same $50,000 was at about 24, 25. That's probably that's a little more. That's a little less. But you make it 50 and all of a sudden you're making 30. You still got the same lifestyle. You still got to eat. You still gotta go to the doctor. You still got kids. You still got a car note. You still gotta have somewhere to live. You still gonna have utility bills. So how do you make it on 40% of what you could make it on 100% of the last time? Okay, so the systems are messed up, but we do have a plan. We do have a plan. Now I'm involved with this company called Karatbars International. Now, as I heard somebody say that you don't have to do my program, but you gotta do something. Okay, this video is just to let you know that you gotta do something other than work that 9 to 5. Okay, work that 9 to 5 until you're 65. Because what people don't understand is that people don't people don't retire at age 65. People retire when they have enough money. Think about this for a minute. How many people do you know that retire and then go out and get a job? Now, let them tell you. I talked to a lady at a place I used to work at. She said, "Well, Tom, I've been retired for 10 years, but I couldn't sit on a porch and watch my teeth fall out and just grow old and watch my hair fall out. So I gotta go and do something." Okay, I get that. I get that. But dig this right here. Pick this out. But for the most part, most people, I would say the majority of people that retire, they go and get another job. First of all, they retire because they have to, because they're forced to retire. Two, when they go out and get a job, it's because they can't make it on the retirement. If you look at the big loss in the stock market, people lost lots of money in the stock market. If your money is in a 401k, then it's tied to the stock market. It's tied into stocks and bonds and the like, and those things are attached to money. And money is declining in value and has already declined in value. Matter of fact, the dollar's lost over 95% of its value. So when money loses power, when money loses value, then everything attached to money loses value. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. But there's another way. You can join I know a business, Karatbars International, you could join for free. You just go to my website at goldisrealmoney.info, www.goldisrealmoney.info, goldisrealmoney.info, www.goldisrealmoney.info, and look at those first two videos and join for free. Let's see, what do I say about join for free? It's free. There are no fees. There are no got yous. There are no minimums, no maximums. You just join for free and then figure it out. But you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And you're instantly in business in over 120 countries, just like that. Just by filling out a simple form. We don't need a credit card. We don't need your social security number. Next date of your next born. We don't need to know a whole lot of information about you. Just need to know your first name, last name, your mailing address, your telephone number, date of birth. Okay, those type of things. Very simple information. I mean, we'll go to the bank and open up and give our information to a perfect stranger, social security number and wife's name and husband's name and children. We don't know them folks. But you won't sit down you can sit down for 5 minutes and fill out a form and give that information to yourself and write it down, put it in the system and be in business in under 5 minutes in 120 plus countries, just like that. So there is an answer. So you can't say I didn't tell you. There's an answer. So all you got to do is go to my website at www.goldisrealmoney.info, because there is a better way. Now, Karatbars is not the only way, but it is a better way. And I want to see people make money and do things that were going to raise them up to the next level. And so now when you go to that job, I got this other business on the side, and if anything happens, I've got this to fall back on. Okay, that'd be your plan B. So all I'm saying, guys, is that is it really worth holding down a job in the climate that we live in? Is it really worth the time, the effort to attempt to hold down a job when you don't even know tomorrow if that job is really even going to be there? Just Tommy Lynch, the millionaire from North Carolina. I want to share that with you. Keep in mind, there is a better way. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.